Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the lab, the AI Learning Lab. What's going down? What's shaking? What's happening? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's get this party started. We're going to get this party started. All right. Let people get rolling on in here. I think I got to do something about these eyebrows. Starting to get all Santa Clausy. Can't have Santa Claus eyebrows. It's just not good. It's not good for anyone. What do you do for dollars? I am a founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine. And we've been around for 11 years. We do a lot of work in healthcare and pharma. It's an automated video storytelling platform. And I do this here AI stuff for fun and profit. You can make money with ChatGPT. Not a lot of profit right now, but spending a lot of time on it. Rolling a lot of AI into my current company, the current product vision, things like that. So that's the day job. And then at nighttime, I do these things. Do a little bit of sim racing, things like that. This is the AI Learning Lab, and I'll talk about these things here in a second. We'll let some people roll in here. Rick Olson, how are you, sir? Jeff Clark, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Breathing water, not smart. How did he go? He waterboarded himself. Do you believe in Palantir? Well, I believe that they're strapping guns to large language models, and that's fucking terrifying. Do I think they'll be effective? Maybe. We did a piece on Palantir in Everyday AI, the newsletter I did for a while. And, it's interesting stuff. It's interesting stuff what they're doing. Like, it's potentially beneficial to warfare, but I don't know. These large language models and weaponry right now feel like they shouldn't be anywhere near each other. Because if I can't get this thing to write a fucking email predictably, I'm not sure I want it targeting the enemy just yet. Why don't we give it a year or two and let it settle out and figure out if it actually works or not. Anyway, welcome everybody. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. A little bit about me. I'm an entrepreneur, many-time entrepreneur. Started, 12, 15 companies, something like that. Number of which should have never been started. Number of which have been really successful, and lots of stuff in between. I was an entrepreneur back in the early days of the World Wide Web. So I've been in one of these things before, and one of these things meaning one of these technology changes that's going to transform things. And it's wild. It's wild. I can tell you that from the early days of the web, kind of riding the web rocket up and being part of the .com bubble and then the .com burst and all of that sort of shit. It's pretty intense. So I didn't think I'd see another one in my lifetime, but I have. And its name is ChatGPT, generative AI. And yeah, I think we're in a pretty amazing thing. So anyway, love that shirt. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Crypto Joe. All right, let me talk about what I got going on here. What are these things? So if you're brand new to generative AI, if you're like, all these people keep talking about AI and I don't know what the hell they're talking about, and I don't like it. I just don't like it one bit. If you're one of those people and haven't tried this, my strong recommendation is go to this top URL, chat.openai.com. That's the official ChatGPT website. If you've never been there before, go there right now. Fire up your laptop or just leave me and go there. And start playing with that. Now, all these other things down below it are also, they're either variations of ChatGPT or competitors of ChatGPT. So if you have played with this and you haven't explored these things below, these are the 7 right now that I think are worth you at least understanding what they do. Now, they're roughly in order of what I think is, most to least useful. But the bottom 2 are useful in kind of different ways. The bottom 2 are kind of more, think of the bottom 2 more as kind of a bit more consumery. Pi is very chatty. Poe, you have bots there. You can play with a lot of different models. The top 5 are the real players. So you've got ChatGPT, you've got Bing, which is Microsoft's version of ChatGPT. You got Claude, which is a competitor of ChatGPT, has a really big context window, so you can put really big documents in Claude, and that's amazing. Then you got Bard, which is not embarrassingly bad anymore, and it can read images, and so it's worth understanding what it's good at. You got Labs.Perplexity. That's Perplexity hosting Meta's Llama 2 models, Llama 7B, 13B, and 70B. So that's worth playing with. So all these are worth playing with. But if you're brand new to this shit, and you're like, but Kyle, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. Oops. I just changed the chart into a 1. Go to that top one. The top one. Chat.openai.com. That's going to be the one you're going to want to look at. You're going to want to look at that one. If you're down in the bayou, you're trying to figure out what we're doing with this here ChatGPT, you're going to go to that one. You're going to go to chat.openai.com. Take it right out in the swamp with you. All right? Now, if you're like, but Kyle, I don't know why you'd say it like that, but if you do, and you're like, I don't know what to do, then I got that for you too. So prompts.chat, that'll teach you how to prompt these things. It's like a little primer that will tell you what the large language models are, how they work, how to talk to them, and it's a whole big long list of prompts that you can literally copy and paste into ChatGPT. It'll give you lots of ideas. This other thing here, prompt book, is for images, and down here are the 3 little image things I would recommend playing with. Midjourney's the best, Firefly is the most commercially safe, and Leonardo is a really nice web front end sitting on top of Stable Diffusion, which Stable Diffusion's good. It's catching up to Midjourney, but it's not quite there yet. All right? So that's what those things are. All right. So if you've got questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. I try to answer them all. That causes issues because I don't get... it causes issues because I'm answering all the questions from the past, and you're down in the present going, why the fuck isn't he answering my questions? Oh, and I swear a little bit too. So if you don't like that, I'd get out. Get out. Get out. He's going to be swearing. He's going to do it. He'll do it. He'll do it right up. He'll swear right up. He'll do it. I've seen him do it. I come to these lives every night, and sometimes he's just nice as a church mouse. He's just super nice, and then other times he's just got a filth mouth. He's just got a filth mouth. And then I'll tell you what, sometimes he's so bad, they'll kick him right off the TikTok. They'll kick him right off the TikTok. They'll do it too. I've seen it. I've seen him mid-sentence just, boop, he's gone. We don't see him for weeks. All right. I don't know what I'm going to say tonight. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to answer some questions. There's Emilio's wife. What's happening? 8:14 in Colorado. It is. Hello, the bear. How are you? Lori 711. What's shaking? All right. Let me go grab a question or two here. And it's going to be hard to read on this shirt. Sorry in advance. I might need to go change the shirt out. Hi, Kyle. I told a bunch of people about you in a librarian webinar yesterday, so you might have some librarians. I hope they don't mind cussing. Well, he's very boisterous, isn't he? Certainly seems enthusiastic. And listen, I'm not saying that librarians, that's how they all are. Definitely not. Just the ones that yelled at me when I was in the library. Mr. Shannon. Mr. Shannon, that is completely inappropriate. We do not toss peanut butter at the other patrons. We don't do that here, Mr. Shannon. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Beautiful. So you've got a video portal? I have a video technology company. So it's Storyvine is a platform that we have an app that guides an end user through telling their story. So we do a lot of work in healthcare and pharma. So, for example, if Pfizer wants one of their patients for a certain drug to share their diagnosis journey, our app will guide that patient. Introduce yourself here. Talk about what it felt like when you were diagnosed. It walks them through the process. Those clips go up to the cloud. 5 minutes later, you got a fully edited video. And then a whole back-end management system to deal with all that. So that's what Storyvine's all about. Rick Olson, fantastic. Thank you, sir. Do I believe in Palantir? Answered that one. I believe in it. I believe it's fucking scary, but I had a choice to make in life. When I was a kid, my dad was a pilot in the Air Force, and I thought, I think I might want to be a pilot. And then at some point, it was like, do I want to be a pilot or do I want to be an actor? I went the actor route. Hang on 1 second. All right. Retail consultant by day. Oh, that's nice. Retail's going to be really interesting with all this AI stuff. All right, hi. What's the best for help with Python code? I don't know what you mean with help for Python code. If you mean you want to learn Python coding, that's different than if you want to do Python coding for you, which is different than if you want to kind of pair program with AI. If you want to pair program, if you're like, putting projects together, I would say GitHub's Copilot seems to be popular amongst the kids. And if you just want to use this stuff to write Python code for you, ChatGPT is really good. I hear that Bard's good, but I would say ChatGPT-4 is, of all of these things, GPT-4 is still the best. I'm holding stock with them. Who are you holding stock with? Oh, Palantir. Oh, yeah, I would. Then as an investment, yeah, I'd say it's probably worth holding stock in Palantir. Like whoever sort of figures out the shit they're trying to do is not bad. I mean, it's not bad or good. Whoever wins that race is they're going to do good financially, I would think. This will definitely be more transformative than the World Wide Web. Yeah, exactly. The World Wide Web, super transformative. But if you think about what the technology was, it was actually quite simple, right? A page with hyperlinks in it that connect to other pages. That transformed a lot of things, right? It made communications immediate. It reduced the need for travel. It's the foundation of all the stuff we do today. It's the foundation of a lot of this stuff, the ability to use this stuff. That said, the basic product that the World Wide Web was quite simple. This stuff is quite sophisticated, and it's moving faster, a lot faster. So the work product of these things is significant. Love your shirt. Thank you. 2 shirt compliments tonight. Very nice. It's hard to read the text against, but Pi.ai is very empathetic to talk to, but asks too many questions if you want to get shit done. Totally agree with that. What's your name? I am Arian? Wait, I can't read against my shirt. I might need to go change it. Yeah, Pi.ai. If you get the Pi app, if you search on Apple for Pi Personal Assistant, you'll get that app. You put it into speech mode and you can talk to it. It's really good to talk to. But if you want to actually get shit done, it's a pain in the ass. So you want to get shit done connected to the internet, that would be Bard or Bing. You want to get shit done not connected to the internet, GPT-4 with Code Interpreter and Claude. If you want to experiment and build your own shit, use the Llama 2 models from Meta. And if you want to make bots, the Poe site is pretty good for making bots that you can share. If we are familiar with promoting, is it worthwhile to find a job remotely doing promoting with AI? Wait, if you're familiar with promoting, is it worthwhile to find a job remotely doing promoting with AI? Yeah, I don't know a lot about that world. What I would say is if you know a lot about promoting, get AI literate and start figuring out how you can do what you've done historically better, faster, and cheaper, right? And so it's not necessarily can you get a job with AI. What I would say is if you're a good promoter, become a way better promoter leveraging these tools, right? So you might use Midjourney to make images for posters or social graphics. You might use these things to write the copy. You might use Code Interpreter to generate CSV files full of copy that you then take over to Canva and do bulk create and just create tons of promotional content and put that out in the world. You could use the fact that Bing or Pi or Bard are connected to the internet to find opportunities. I don't know. I mean, the short answer to any question of I'm in this kind of profession, should I be using AI? The short answer to it is yes. But I wouldn't even necessarily limit yourself to a given profession. What I would say is, if you're a promoter, if you're good at doing things in that world, you have a lot of skills, right? You can't be a promoter and kind of be, singular in your focus. You got to do a lot of shit and do it well. Learning how to use AI to do those things really well, you may discover something that this stuff amplifies what you do in a way that you couldn't even imagine. I'll share. I just wrote if you go to my LinkedIn profile, I just wrote an article today about. I had a fairly profound interaction with ChatGPT today. So this guy, I'm volunteering for a United Way thing for a small business thing, and I'm going to go tell him about storytelling. And so the guy running the program, it's a cohort for small businesses, for first-time founders, and he wanted me to put together like a little Mad Libs thing for people to do their elevator pitch. And so we talked, and he said the people are very nervous. They're first-time founders. Like, the idea of pitching makes them really nervous. They're resisting it. They don't want to pitch their business. They don't want to feel sleazy. And so I thought, sure, I can, I've done a ton of those in my day, so I can whip up a little Mad Libs kind of thing. Like, here's what my business is about. Here's the problem, and here's the solution, and, here's what my business is about. And then I went to ChatGPT and I wanted to get, there's a guy named Simon Sinek who's got a famous TED Talk called, what is it? Lead with why. So instead of talking about what you do, talk about why you do it. So I went there just to get that quote. And then I started kind of brainstorming with ChatGPT. I was going back and forth about how I could incorporate this quote into this little Mad Libs thing. And before I knew it, an hour had passed, and I completely redefined. I got rid of the term elevator pitch, and I came up with the term your belief brief. And it's a whole framework for how someone can tell the why of their story. Here's why I started it, and things like that. And it was just this amazing sort of, I went into a hyper-focused tunnel with my ADD, and I went into it wanting to do just a very simple kind of search, and an hour later I had created this really sophisticated framework to give to these first-time entrepreneurs. And so I shared that on LinkedIn, and it wasn't so much what I wrote that was the remarkable thing. It was the speed with which I went from, one intention, and then, I gained a little bit of insight into that, and then it just opened up this whole new world. And what would have taken me a week or two to really think about and really write and really put together and iterate and back and forth, I did all that back and forth within about an hour. And the piece that I wrote it's like a 3-page document with a worksheet and with tips and tricks on how to do it, and the actual framework itself and examples and opening paragraphs that describe what it is. So just, remarkable. So back to the promoting thing, you likely have skills that are worth exploring how you do those different things with these tools, right? And with the image generation tools. And in the case of music, maybe with the music tools or the animation tools. Go to futurepedia.io and start geeking out on what are some of the tools that are out there. You might have some fun doing that. But if you're new to this stuff, just start with ChatGPT. And but yes, I think it's probably, wise to get yourself AI literate. All right. Oh, good, you're here. I am here. The TikTok. Why do older people say the before any technical application? I do it ironically as a joke, because I'm a bitter, cynical Gen Xer, you little motherfucker. But we used to say, back when I started agency.com in the mid-90s, we used to have a thing like I need to get the internet installed on my computer. Oh, yeah. Did you just start? I did just start. I keep hearing about AAA, AI automation agencies. Is that a big opportunity? New here. Hey, John, how's it going? I think AI automation agencies, the fact that there's an acronym for it already just blows my mind. Basically, if you can use Zapier, you can get people to pay you to do shit right now. I think AI automation agencies are a short-term opportunity, yes. Here's my deal. This shit's moving so fast that whether it's an agent, if I were going to start an agency right now, I'd just call it an agency. Or I wouldn't even call it that. I'd call it I've got the AI Learning Lab. I also put together a project called the AI Leverage Lab, which I was just going to turn into an agency. But I've got too much other shit going on, including the company I'm CEO of. And I think right now, if you want to get work right now, you can do it in a couple of ways. You could teach people how to use AI. You could do workshops. You could build stuff for people. If you're not super technical, you could build stuff for people using automation tools like Zapier. But I wouldn't lock yourself into any particular flavor of how you're building shit for people or advising them. Because it's just moving too fast, right? So if you say, we're in the AI automation agency, and all of a sudden autonomous agents get their shit together, and now instead of having to hand program automations, you just go in and you say, I want you to do shit for me, and the machine just goes off and does that, you're shit out of business, right? But at that point, then you might need to understand how to use those agents and how to string them together. And that might not be an automation agency. That might be an agent agency. So now I'm an AI agent agency, not an AI automation agency. Still AAA. So again, I think that the opportunity over the next 18 months is so vast that the only real requirement right now is don't sit on the sidelines. Spend hours. I'm spending 2 to 3 hours every night just, rambling my fucking mouth here, just to keep my head engaged in this stuff. And to get other people up to speed on it and start playing with it. So if you haven't, go here and start playing. If you're thinking about doing that, go build an automation in Zapier. Like if you've got an agency background, a good way to start. Like things that I've built over the past 6 months have been content generation engines, where I'll create a Google form with some inputs. I'll take those inputs, incorporate them into a prompt, send that off to OpenAI, and then either post that to a Slack channel, send it in an email, post it to a Google spreadsheet. You can knock one of those out in an hour. And it's really good practice to work on your prompting and work and understand the concept. And then, go tell people you can automate shit for them. Or just go find out what problems people have and say, hey, can I help you solve that problem? If you're just getting up to speed, just go offer to help people. Do a couple for free. Help a neighbor. She's having a bake sale. She wants to organize shit. She's overwhelmed. Hey, can I help you with that? I'm learning AI. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. And then use these things to make her project plans and spreadsheets and all sorts of happy horse shit. So start at whatever level you're at. Do it for other people. Let other people know that you're doing this stuff. And then, I think it's a good idea. Dude, have you not learned about the shirt issue yet? Yes, I have. Yes, I've learned about it. And I also call it the TikTok. I'm just old. What do you want from me, people? We're not like that anymore. Oh, librarian, we're not like that anymore. Old spinstery kind of, oh, Mr. Shannon. Yeah, I know. I had just too many of those librarians in. I had them in high school. Didn't have any in college. College was fine. High school, I had them. All right, woohoo! So happy to be back on your channel. I was in Castle Rock at my friend's house. Oh, that's cool, Winston. Welcome back. I think I'm going to go change my shirt. I'll be back. Do me a favor, share the live, tap the like screen, maybe get some people here, and then when they come in and are like, why am I looking at shelves? You can just tell them that's what this channel's all about. Very nice. Luke, I am your father. Bah, humbug. All right. Is that better? Who was bitching at me about the shirt? Someone was. No costume change, Mr. Shannon? Just joking. I still can't read. Oh, I can still read. I know. I can sort of read, but this is better. All right. We're good. Okay, the answer to the question, coffee again. I haven't had whiskey in a while. Agua. And a little bit of crack cocaine. No, seriously, we don't joke about drugs. We don't do that around here. All right, ChatGPT is great for debugging code. Yeah, hey, Retropunk, what's happening? Yeah. ChatGPT, amazing for debugging code, amazing for documenting code, amazing for explaining code. I've done that before. I took a fairly long SQL query, and I popped it into ChatGPT, and I said, explain what this is doing. I don't know SQL. And then it explained it, and then I said, oh, could you fix some shit? And it did. And it fixed it wrong first, and I only found that out the hard way. I'm like, here's the report, it's done. And they're like, these numbers don't look right. And I was like, right. I definitely checked that. One of my new friendships I made while I was in Colorado was a Top Gun pilot instructor at the USAF. That's pretty cool. Yeah, those guys, they'll fucking buzz Denver every now and again. You'll just hear like 4 jets flying in formation, blast by. It's pretty cool. Hey, you got a backup account? I do not have a backup account. I should have a backup account when they kick me off, but I'm only off for 7 days. They give me like the slap on the wrist one. The problem with it is, like, like I'll just be doing my live. I'll be talking about whatever, going back and forth, and all of a sudden just go, "Bzz, you've been banned," and I'm like, and then I resist it. What's that called? Appeal it, and then they say, "No, fuck you. You're still an evil person." But they don't tell me exactly. They tell me what rule was broken, but not what I actually said to break the rule. So I don't know how I, as a responsible adult, am supposed to learn if I don't know what the fuck I did. I trade futures. What AI program would you recommend? I would recommend not taking any sort of investment advice from a guy with an acting degree. That's what I would definitely recommend. I'll tell you the things that I think are interesting right now. And here's the deal. It's so impossible to know this stuff because things are moving so fast. And I think that the big step change innovations are likely going to come from unexpected places. So I can tell you what I think's going on right now. So ChatGPT, they have their shit together. Sam Altman's really thoughtful. I feel like they are steps ahead of the rest of the industry, both in how they're training their models, how they're thinking about alignment, how they're thinking about scale, how they're thinking about managing through the disruption that these tools are going to cause. So if you look at Sam Altman's WorldCoin, I think that's a really interesting project. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically his cryptocurrency and identity blockchain project and payment system that is about verifying human beings with iris scans with a thing called the orb, which is fucking terrifying. But it's about redistributing some of the insane wealth that Altman is predicting that these the prosperity that these AI tools are going to generate. He's basically committing to take a big chunk of that from OpenAI and give it back to the people, and he's going to do that through WorldCoin. So I think they're really interesting. Claude is Anthropic. Couple of things about Anthropic. They're ex-OpenAI people, so they're smarter than fuck. I just watched an interview with the CEO last night. He's wicked smart, and but they've got a thing called the constitutional learning model, which OpenAI uses humans to do their training. Claude is using this thing called the constitutional learning model. Feels like it has future to me. Google is way on their heels. They're trying to catch up, but I wouldn't count them out. But I wouldn't lean into them right now at all. Meta just open sourced Llama 2. Pi is super interesting because of they just raised $1.3 billion, and it's a DeepMind founder is the one that created Inflection. So Pi right now looks like a little toy, but I think that they're going to be a very significant player. I think Runway ML is interesting. I think Midjourney is by far the best of the image generation tools, but their CEO is a bit of a clown, and he's like, fuck copyright. He's going to get his ass sued into oblivion. So I'd sit on the sidelines with that one. I think Stable Diffusion, Stability AI is really interesting. They're open sourcing all their tech, so I think they're going to get their asses sued into the ground too, but because they're open sourcing things, that might be a hedge against lawsuits. I don't know. Microsoft is playing like a startup again, so they're interesting. NVIDIA seems to have a fucking monopoly. AMD's trying to break into the GPU market, but whatever the fucking barrier is for scaling up chip production, like NVIDIA seems to have the entire developer community locked, and But, they got $1 trillion market cap, so I don't know what the upside is there, but they're fucking killing it. Apple, so they're apparently... So a couple of things. Built into iOS 17 is voice cloning. It's in there right now, in the beta that you can play with. They're rumored to have created a language or a framework called Ajax. I think it's called Ajax for large language model creation, and they've got something called Apple GPT that they're testing internally, and they're spending the bulk of their $24 billion R&D budget. $24 billion R&D budget, which is bigger than the market cap of OpenAI. Apple's spending like their couch change all on AI, on generative AI. So I have a sneaking suspicion that Apple's going to come out fucking swinging. And, you know, they've got this spatial computing thing that's going to be heavy in AI. I think they're just going to bleed out all that AI technology. Apple's interesting because they're going to be able to... They've got credibility with privacy, and they've got the technology for privacy, and they got the technology to run machine learning shit locally. You're not going to have to send it to Apple. So Apple's going to be able to legitimately say, you can GPT the fuck out of all of your data, and we're not going to steal it or give it to the government. And I think they're the only ones that can say that. They've taken a pretty hard line on that shit. So, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't go invest in any of that shit on my advice, but those are the ones I'm looking at. All right. He was in the Air Force for 20 years as a fighter trainer, now just flying as a commercial pilot. Yeah, a lot of the Air Force dudes end up going commercial. It was funny. I was talking to a commercial pilot once, and we hit some weather, and he flew through it fine, and and I was talking to him, and he told me he was an Air Force fighter pilot, and I said, "What's it like flying one of these things?" He said, "It's like driving a bus." He was like really disappointed. And I said, "Well, we hit all that weather there. Like, did that get your adrenaline going at all?" And he was like, "No." There is probably not much else short of driving an F1 car that's like flying an F-16 or an F-18. So yeah, all those guys got to go commercial, and I suppose the ones that are still adrenaline junkies go do the air shows and things like that, but it's crazy. That's really funny. All right. Are there any decent local hostable large language models you can train yourself? Yes, but I haven't played deep in that world. But so where I would start is go to Reddit and just search for open source large language models. I'm sure there are 2 or 3 subreddits that are just dedicated to that shit. The developer community right now has kind of lost their mind on Llama 2. So you can go play with the Llama 2 models at labs.perplexity. But if you want to go train your own shit, just go hang out on Reddit and look at the projects that they're doing. There's a project called GPT for All that lets you use lots of different large language models. If you want to start training large language models on your own data, then I would go look at a project called LangChain, which can chain different components together, including the embeddings and vector databases that you search against. LangChain's quite powerful. Most of the developers that I know are using it, that are doing any of this sort of stuff. I've got an instance of it like a sandbox for my company Storyvine. I've got another project that I'm doing, and the developer there is using it pretty extensively. He's building some really cool stuff with it. So, but there are lots and lots and lots of open source large language models that you can train, or that other people have trained that you can use. Some of them you can install on non-optimized computers like M1 Max and up, and like a simple GPU on a PC and up. I think within a year we'll be able to install GPT 3.5 equivalent models, like just locally on our phones, locally on our laptops. So it's gonna be a something. It's gonna be quite something. And again, pay attention to things like what Apple's doing. Apple's going to come out swinging, and they're going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple finds a way to reinvent how we think about these large language models, either with autonomous agents that, like personal assistants that do, imagine if Siri didn't suck. And don't listen to me. She keeps turning herself on every time I say her name. Simon is great. Simon Sinek. Yeah, he's amazing. Anyway, I was very busy with about 30 people at my friends, and I wished I could have met with you too. Oh, yeah. If you get to Denver, drop me a line. You can come to. I do an AI salon. That's the other thing. If you're into this stuff, I started a group called the AI Salon. You can go to the salon.ai, and that's it's a link tree that's got our meetup, our Discord server, and our LinkedIn group, and like our mission statement and shit like that. And we meet every other Tuesday. We have a meeting coming up this coming Tuesday, the 15th. And John Knack from Adobe's AI group is going to be speaking there. He spoke with us back in January, and they hadn't done Firefly yet. They were like, we're not sure if we want to do this AI thing. Like, we're not sure if we want to lead into this generative AI thing, because at the time it was very, very, the artists were fucking pissed off. Way more than they are now. Like I knew some artists that were doing some AI generated art projects that were getting fucking death threats. So Adobe early on was like, we're not sure if we're going to do this. We might dip our toes in the water. And then 2 months later, they came out with Firefly, and they've just been off to the races. They got themselves a Discord server. They got Firefly up and running. They rolled that shit straight into generative fill within Photoshop. And the other thing about Adobe right now is all of their models are trained on public domain and Adobe stock licenses that they own. So they haven't trained anything on, active copywritten artists, and they're creating a system to allow artists to opt out of being trained, opt into being trained, attribution models, compensation models. So I think Adobe's doing it right. So anyway, John's going to come to the salon next Tuesday, and he's going to talk about whatever he's allowed to talk about, but he'll probably give us a little insight into, what I want to hear from John is, what have they learned? Thank you, David Gold. Appreciate that. Gould, probably, not Gold. There's a U in there. So, and I'm an old guy. The David Gould. The TikTok. What was I going to say? Yeah. I want to hear from John. What have they learned? Because they just sort of hit the ground running, and they didn't seem to catch the wrath of the art community because they did it right. They talked to all of the major issues. So I'm just curious what they've learned, what they're excited about, any little sneak peeks they can give us about what's coming. And John's great. He's a guy. I used to work with him at agency.com. He was actually an intern at agency.com, and then he went off and became a big fucking deal. He was a product guy at Photoshop for years. Then he went to Google for a bunch of years. Now he's back at Adobe doing AI stuff. So that should be interesting. So yeah, so come to the salon. And yeah, if you're in Denver, ping me. We can go grab a coffee or something. All right, let's see. Moving on. TikTok jumped me to the bottom. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, there's Simon is great. All right. Hello from Maria Lupita from the Laguna Beach area. Welcome, Maria. Glad to have you here. Nice emoji work there. I'd say 9.5 out of 10 on the emoji work. It's solid. The work acceleration from AI is so exciting. I know, Aaron. It's funny. It's funny. The story. I don't know if you heard earlier when I talked about. I just had this little 10-minute project to do today, and I went to ChatGPT to do a little research, and then it just ballooned into this sort of hour and a half long brainstorming session with ChatGPT, and I created something really remarkable. So in that case, it actually slowed the speed of the work, but it accelerated the quality of the work dramatically. Like the guy that asked me to do something was just expecting a little Mad Libs kind of paragraph, and I sent him a 3-page fucking document that redefined what an elevator pitch was for a first-time founder. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's I swear to God, man, every day I'm just like, really? Really? You can do that? I don't know when that's going to go away. I'm trying to think back in the early days of the web. I mean, in the early days of the web, the technology was so basic that the things we got excited about tended to be like incremental technological improvements. Like, so when I first started building websites, you could center text, but you couldn't center images. The center tag didn't apply to images. So, so all images were left justified. So that drove us fucking crazy. So we invented a whole little series of pixel-high invisible images to scooch our images to the right so we could center our images with the text. And then when when the center tag came out, we were like, woo! And I remember when Flash came out and we could do animations, because we had been writing Perl scripts to do animations where the animation was actually a series of calls back to the web server, and that was the animation. And then animated GIFs came out, and Flash came out, and we were doing games within banners. It was crazy. But all of that stuff were like incremental improvements that we got excited about. Here it's kind of like, I mean, there are exciting technological things happening, but it's almost more like the more people and companies start to get their head around this stuff, they're like, well, here's how we're using it. And then you look at it and you're like, oh shit, I'd never even thought about that. So yeah, it's just crazy times right now. It really is. I find that AI is helping me bring my vision out of the ethers and into the tangible. Denise, that to me feel that. Sorry, I agree with you so much. I literally can't talk. I think that's the biggest thing for me that ChatGPT does is I'll have a whisper of an idea, and within 3 minutes, 5 minutes, that whisper of an idea is at 80% execution. Now, it still takes me very often 2 hours to get the last 20% done, but like that's the reality anyway. We're creative people, right? We're constantly, pushing the boundaries of deadlines. But that ability to get something out of your head quickly and articulated quickly, and then to have that idea spur new ideas that you can bring those to life quickly. Like I find myself knocking out 5 or 6 major concepts in 30 to 45 minute periods, and then I kind of curate those, and some I'll park, some I'll toss. Oh, that was just a stepping stone. That's it for me. That's it for me. It's an idea amplifier, an ability amplifier. Ian, my wife is sleeping, so I can watch you. What do you mean you're watching Kyle again? You don't want to watch TV with me? Yeah, my wife is like, oh, you're going on TikTok again? So, I get it. I totally get it. Claude and Poe gave me the McAllister moment the other day. Oh, Nicholas, tell me what happened. What? So, Claude and Poe. So, I'm guessing Claude, it was about the 100,000 token context limit. And Poe, I'm not sure. Maybe it was the bots. The Kevin McAllister moment, if you don't know. So I say on the channel a lot that you should use these tools long enough to have your Kevin McAllister moment, which is the Home Alone moment. Another handsome shirt. Thank you. Belief brief. That's effing brilliant. So the bear, thank you. I'm really excited about the belief brief. Thank you very much. Yeah, it started out as an elevator pitch, and then I went to Simon Sinek's why thing, and then I was saying, is there a framework for how to talk about the why? And then it just evolved and evolved and evolved, and so I had this whole framework, and then it said, here's your elevator pitch framework or whatever it was, recipe. And I'm like, elevator pitch still kind of sucks. Like, that still feels like this intimidating thing. And so I did a naming session with ChatGPT, and I probably came up with 60 or 80 names. I was doing them in batches of 10. And it was just like shitty batch of names. But then there'd be like one little phrase in there. I'm like, oh, that phrase is good. And I'd sort of pull that out. and I'd do iterations on that. And it was, I don't know, it was like idea 84 was belief brief, and I was like, that's good. So, yeah, I know, isn't that fun? Zapier versus Make versus Python. I would say the bear. Are you stalking me at the AI Learning Lab? you kids. No fraternizing amongst the the audience. I don't give a shit. Fraternize all you want. Zapier versus Make versus Python. Zapier's been around for longer, which is good and bad. It's good because, and I don't know why I'm talking to you with a pen, but listen, little mister. Listen, little Mr. Ian. Zapier's been around longer, so it's got more connections, more API hooks to different services. It's got like more than 5,000. Make is newer and has a sexier interface, but they're both kind of exactly the same thing, right? You've got, it's kind of a linear flow that can branch. And then Python is, if you know Python, like, here's the thing with no code. The problem with no code is that you have to learn their fucking platform, right? You have to learn all the intricacies of the platform and what works and what doesn't. And like every little module has its own fucking rules. And it's probably, if someone is really competent with Python, they could probably do what you do in Zapier faster than I could do it in Zapier. But if I don't want to fucking learn Python, I'm going to use Zapier, right? And I don't know Make. I've looked at Make. I like how it looks, but I went to build something and it just gave me one of those weird fucking automation errors, like whatever the fuck it was. It was just some stupid fucking error that if I had read the manual, I wouldn't have had the issue. but I don't read manuals because that's just not how I roll. I've never read manuals. I have a son that reads manuals. He drives me fucking crazy. I'm like, there's 3 screws and a bolt. What are you reading the manual for? What could we possibly fuck up? And then, of course, I fucked some things up with that attitude. But there's other times when I just build shit, and it was fine. And I can use my brain. I don't need a fucking manual. I can figure it out. Anyway, thank you for the heart. So I'd say whichever one you're more comfortable in. They're probably all in the neighborhood of the same. Morgie, calling y'all in. Thank you. I assume that means you shared this. Thank you very much. Well, it's been blessed with good. Oh, I see you're talking to each other. Cool. Wait. Oh, Morgie, in a few hours is the All In podcast. John, interesting. Crypto Joe, lady that went viral on the plane saying the guy wasn't real is said to be a marketing exec. Yeah, those marketing execs. They're a little cuckoo. Advertising is full of special people. They're special. They have big egos and big crazies. But they're smart and fun. Yeah, ad people are nuts. Marketing people are crazy. But they're storytellers. What the fuck do you want? Your storytellers are going to have a little scroll loose every once in a while. How else could they tell the story? They're the observers of society. You know what I mean? We're all out there doing. The storytellers are sitting back going, huh? Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, that line's going in a play. I'll tell you what. If you've never been to New York, or if you haven't been there in a while, I fucking miss New York. I haven't been there in way too long. One of my favorite things in New York was just go fucking anywhere. Go to a diner, go to the subway, and just have a notebook open and just listen. Oh my God. Oh, the lines. The lines. All right, I went to Block and Bottle in Castle Rock and went to a pretty large party at Casa Bonita. How was the food at Casa Bonita? I haven't been yet. I hear it's good. Although all the servers went on ahead and sued the South Park guys because I guess they weren't paying them, or they weren't doing what they promised, or they weren't opening or something. This guy is cool. I don't know who you're talking about. It's not me. I say the TikTok. That's not cool. Any decent locally hostable large language models? We already talked about that. Oh, by the way, if I'm not answering your questions, it's because I'm reading all the questions. So I'm now 38 messages or more behind. So don't go hating on me, and don't go asking the same question 47 fucking times, because as I scroll through it, I'm going to see them. We had a situation last night with a guy with an unpronounceable name asked me questions 462 fucking times. It got ugly. I do not suffer fools lightly, especially when I can't read their name. I don't know what's going on with my voice tonight. It ain't something is awry up here. And something is a pumpernickel. Huh? It's comedy. All right. We have fun. We like to have fun. I like that shirt, but this record is also good. I know. It's good, right? Albums, the vinyl. Spin those tunes. Yes, much better. You were bitching about the shirt, Kyle. Oh, you were bitching about the shirt, Kyle. I know, Emilio's wife. All right, much better shirt for reading, thank you. Yo. Which AI can take a zip file and read through it? That would be Claude.ai and Code Interpreter not Claude. Chat.openai.com has Code Interpreter that can read a zip file. I think Claude can also read a zip file. Let me go check. I know Claude can do PDFs. Where's an archive? Come on, I know I got one in here somewhere. Wait, any archive? No, archive. Name contains. Where? I don't get it. I just don't get it, people. What's happening? Oh, maybe it can't. Oh, it can't. Okay. So, okay. ChatGPT using Code Interpreter, you can upload a zip file to that, and it can be full of a bunch of other files, PDFs and CSVs. Code Interpreter also you can now do multiple files up to Code Interpreter. And I'm happy to show that here if anyone wants to see it. Have I seen HeyGen Avatar pre-release today? I tagged you on LinkedIn. Oh, cool, RetroPunk. Yeah, I saw that. I've seen HeyGen is clearly getting ready to release something, because I've seen them mentioned like 10 times in the past 2 days. So their PR firm is earning their stripes. So something's up with HeyGen. I saw a TikTok today where a guy was talking about HeyGen and Canva. I've seen a couple of people talking about it on X. So yeah. How can we ever prove AI can be sentient if we can't solve the hard problems of consciousness? Well, user 588593919. By the way, 0.5 on the name. Come on. Seriously? Like Bob, at least, right? Anyway, Bob 588593919. I don't know what you mean about if we can't solve the hard problem of being conscious. We are, I would say, certainly in America, we are a largely unconscious society right now. We're all living on our amygdalas, just fucking triggered every minute of every day. So it would be nice if we got back to a little more consciousness. Here's my thought on sentience and AGI and is it smarter than us or not? All that sort of shit, from where I sit, is fucking irrelevant. Like, who cares? Okay, at the point at which we go, okay, AI is sentient now. What changes? Nothing. Right? These things are already more capable. Like, these things already know more than any of us individually will ever be able to learn ever in our lives if we dedicated the rest of our lives to learning all of the shit. We could not keep up with where these things are right now. We can't code as fast, we can't write as fast, we can't write as comprehensively. And these things are in their shittiest form that they will ever be. So at the point at which we say, okay, now it's sentient, now it's conscious, now it's AGI, it's just like I feel like at this point it's just a continuum, right? We're already at the point, and it's even funny. Like there's people that have got there are all these different like definitions of when these things pass the Turing test. It's like, okay, well, it passes the Turing test for 5 minutes, but I want to talk to it for 4 hours. And if it can convince me that it's not a computer for 4 hours, then it's past the Turing test. Well, okay, like whatever. Like these things are no longer Alexa and Siri, right? These things are way beyond anything that we have historically called a chatbot. Way beyond, right? These things are transforming work and jobs and all that stuff right now in their shitty, janky, duct tape ass form. So I agree with you. We can't get our shit together as humans, and I don't think it's relevant when we label that these things are more human than human or not. Like it's going to be good for a cover of Time magazine, but how about IG account? Instagram? I don't know what you're talking about, Ian. Don't take any advice from Jim Cramer. You should get a backup account because I think that subsequent bans can be longer. Oh, well, they can be. If they do it again, I'm trying to be a little careful now. I think I know the areas that I'm not allowed to dance around. It basically, yeah. I'm not even going to talk about it because I can't even talk about it or it'll shut this thing down. Any AI can read zip files and interpret the code. Okay, so the answer is yes. And what we'll do, so here we are at ChatGPT. In order to use Code Interpreter, you need access to GPT+. When you go to the GPT-4 area, you'll see Code Interpreter and plugins. If you pay for ChatGPT+ and you don't see these, that's because they're hiding it from you. Because they're evil little bastards. So, to turn that shit on, go to your settings and go to beta features. And then you turn them on. Why are they doing that? Because they want to protect you from yourselves. I don't know. They're pretending like that's safer than not turning that shit on. Okay. So, now we're in Code Interpreter. Next to your little doodaddy here is a plus button. And I can now upload anything, videos, images, zip files, CSVs, PDFs. So let's go grab some new data. So I'm going to run over to a site called Kaggle, Kaggle. Wait, Kaggle, okay. And I'm going to go to datasets, and then we're going to go find us a data set. Oh, we got one here. Oh, it's only 7K. We have a data set for McDonald's nutrition. That would be a fun one. Let's see. Top 200 Spotify songs database. Magnus Carlsen's games. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a filter here. We're going to get some decent sized ones. We'll go 10 megabytes to 100 megabytes. And let's grab CSVs. All right. Things on Reddit, S&P 500, global education statistics, all indicators. That sounds interesting. TV and movie metadata with genres and ratings. Metro train data set. Let's do global education. Okay. So I'm going to download this 18 megabyte file. Looks like it's down. Is it down? Did this just come in? Today at 9:10. Yes. Okay. So we're going to go back to ye old ChatGPT. You can make money with ChatGPT. We're going to grab archive 2. I'm going to open it. Okay. So that's going to now upload that file. So it's taking a little moment here. And we're going to type in here. Please open this archive and examine the files within it and tell me what might be interesting about them. So you can just do that. You can just say, go do shit, without being very articulate. And then it goes and does it. So what it's actually doing here is it's spun up a virtual machine inside this chat session. And it's writing and executing its own Python code. And something is up with the focus again. This new phone's been better on the focus, but this is... Oh, it's because... Hang on. My hand is in there. Let me see if I can get it so my hand's not in the shot. Not really. Let's see. Can we do it there? Get rid of that. Oh, hey, hang on, please. Just... I'll be there. Okay. Okay, maybe that'll work. Okay, so it's writing and executing its own Python code. It says this archive contains 15 CSV files. Their names seem to be mostly UUID based, except for one that mentions education statistics. What do you want me to do? I can check the first few rows of each file. Investigate any unique patterns or outliers. Would you like me to start by examining? Or is it, you decide. Is what I'm going to say. You decide. All right, let's start by examining the first few rows of a selection of these files. And so again, it's going off. So it's starting with the one that it thinks is the most interesting. It's not starting with the UUID files. And again, what it's doing there is writing its own Python code. So it says, here's a quick overview. Unfortunately, I encountered an error. There's literacy proficiencies of adults. Language proficiency of 2nd grade. From the initial examination, it seems these files might contain educational statistics, possibly for various countries and years. The data is potentially related to proficiency levels, blah, blah, blah. To further understand this data, we could check the number of unique countries, examine any trends, or examine files till they see. So let's say trends. We want to look at trends. And so let's see what it does. So now what it's going to do is it's going to go... Why this feels like the future to me is my input here is very minimal, including my knowledge of data analysis and how to even deal with data sets, right? I don't know how to do that, but I can come in here and with a handful of things just turn it loose to start working. So this is an example of an autonomous agent. It's not really going out and, using other tools and things like that, but it's running this, virtual computer system within my chat session, and it's got access to Python libraries, and it understands Python code, and it understands how to problem solve. And so it is remarkable. I'm in the middle of a project right now where I've got an old legacy Excel spreadsheet that just isn't working. I can't get it to work. And so I'm doing my data analysis for this report that this spreadsheet was supposed to do. I'm doing it all in Code Interpreter. And, it takes me like 10 minutes. I go in, I grab raw data. I turn it into tables. I turn it into charts and graphs. I give it to the account people, and they go deal with it. And I don't have to do any coding. I don't have to learn SQL queries, all that sort of stuff. So let's see what it's doing. it seems to be there's an error. So there it just made a chart with nothing on it. And it observed that there's no data available, so it made an empty chart. I'm going to say find interesting data in one CSV. Let's see what that does. I might have picked a janky data set here. Again, if I knew more what I was doing with data analysis, that's so one of the other things that I think is important to recognize, me being clueless about data analysis, I'm going to be able to use code interpreter like just a little bit, like a wee little bit. But if someone's actually good at data analysis, they're going to be able to use this thing in a remarkable way. Let's see. The file contains 270 countries, 140 unique series, descriptive statistics. Given the area, few interesting paths we can take: country analysis, series analysis, or trends over time. Let's do trends over time. So if you're good at a particular thing, you're going to use ChatGPT or Code Interpreter or Claude or Midjourney. You're going to use it way different than I use it. And that's a good thing, right? And that's another reason I like this channel is the more people that come in here with different points of view and perspectives, like teach us all different ways of looking at these things. And that's what we need right now, right? The only way we can really learn what's possible with stuff that's this different from how we've done things historically requires lots of lenses being looked through. All right, and this is getting boring because it's like it hasn't quite figured out how to pull the data out of these things. But anyway, that's Code Interpreter. That's how it works. There, it just made another empty chart. Okay, we're gonna bail you on you. Stop generating. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. We have no use for you, Code Interpreter. Code Interpreter's useless tonight. All right, I'll get a different data set. You could rip the transcript of your offering, of your offending video, give it to ChatGPT along with TikTok rules. Oh, that's a good idea, River. Thank you, David Gould. What is that thing? Oh, it's a TikTok music thing. It's a 3D neon tick-tock, tickety-tock. River, that's a really good idea. So download the offending video, transcribe it, put it into ChatGPT with the TikTok rules. Yeah, and it'll find it. Yeah, I could do that. I don't really care. Thank you, Kay. Appreciate that. What about IBM's Watson? Ha 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 ha! I know. So they did announce like 6 weeks ago Watson AI. Was it Watson AI or Watson? Oh, Watson X. Yeah, they announced Watson X. Yeah, so they had Watson and then they had Watson Health, and that was going to change the world, right? Thanks, David Gould. And I really do appreciate that. And then it just flamed out. They screwed it up somehow. I don't know what they did. I mean, but you know, Watson Health was pre-Transformers, right? All these tools that we're playing with now, this is all possible because of the Transformer that was invented in 2017. I think Watson Health was kind of on its downswing at that point. Wow, David, thank you so much. And Tim, good name. Yeah, so all these things are leveraging Google's Transformer technology. And so is Midjourney, and so is Stable Diffusion, and so are the image generation, or the video generation tools, and the voice synthesis tools, and the animation tools. They're all using the same shit right now. Which, good Lord, David, that's awesome. Thank you so much. What was I going to say? So right now, all of these things are using the transformer model, but there's all these other different models, and there's models that are in research right now that we don't know anything about, that all of a sudden are going to spring up on the industry, and it's going to change everything again. So I think we'll see something like the transformer comes along that creates this step change in capability, and then all the developers sort of rush to sort of catch up with it, integrate it, and then go beyond it. And then there'll be another one that does something different, better, faster, more, whatever. And then same thing will happen. And we are definitely in sort of the hockey stick of innovation. And we're just starting. This is nuts. And it really is ChatGPT that kicked off this whole frenzy, because that came out, machine learning had been around for a few decades, and ChatGPT came out, and all of a sudden 100 million people in 6 weeks said, oh shit, this is cool. And those were not 100 million machine learning scientists and researchers and data people. Those were like human beings like yours truly here that went, this is pretty swell. I think I could even use the AI now. And all the scientists are like, oh fuck, really? Them? Ooh, that's a cool one. The hell is that? Never seen that before. David Gould absolutely killing it with the action. I'm going to turn this into a goddamn NPC channel yet. I'll do it. I'll twerk. And I'll go, oh, cowboy hat. Ooh, cowboy hat. Ooh, cowboy hat. Oh, TikTok hat. TikTok hat. I can't tempt David. It's not good, David. It's not good. It's not good. Don't do it. Don't do it. It serves no one. It serves no one. Oh, good Lord. Bagels. Bagels. Yeah. How you doing? Okay, holy crud on Pi.ai, and NVIDIA does have a good lock on GPUs and likely on newer TPUs. Yeah, it baffles my mind that all the chip, I assume there was a lot of consolidation in chip manufacturers, but how did Intel blow it? How did Intel not get in the GPU game? And how did AMD blow it? And how did, there are, it was just like they said, okay, fuck it, video games can go to NVIDIA. And then the Bitcoin shit came out, and they're like, well, that's fine, that's just crypto. And now it's all of AI, and they've had the market cornered long enough now that all of the drivers and all of the software infrastructure and all of the development infrastructure is all made for NVIDIA. So it's not even can you make the chips. AMD can make the chips, but their software is all fucked up. If you listen to there's an interview with Lex Friedman and George Hotz, and George is talking about wanting to use someone other than NVIDIA, and he was trying to use AMD chips, and their fucking drivers crashed when he tried to do machine learning shit on them. The things that were designed for machine learning. And they just fucking crashed. And he's like, seriously? So, that's just amazing to me. Just amazing. I want to drive an F1 car. I would love to drive an F1. Well, honest to God, I don't know if I would want to drive an F1 car. I would love to at least start with an F4 car. I feel like the amount of stress just getting in an F1 car, and what was, I don't know if you ever saw that Top Gear episode where Hammond gets into an F1 car, and he's in the pits, and they train him for 2 hours, how to do this thing. And they get him in the pit, they start the car, and he fucking stalls it. If I stalled an F1 car, I would just sort of melt into the seat. So I think if I started with an F4, F3, maybe go to an F2 car. Those F1 cars they're just fucking crazy. Fucking nuts. Be fun to drive a NASCAR too, because they're just fucking beastie, loud. Just fucking blast that thing around a 2-mile track. Left turns only. LangChain and Meta's LLM are on top use within enterprises. Yeah, I'm probably gonna set up. We've got. I'm going to New York Sunday to talk to a big pharma client. I think we're gonna do 3 pilot projects using LLMs. Quite frankly, some projects that are beyond what I, know exactly how to do, which is kind of exciting. It's good. But I'm going to probably end up going with Llama just for data safety. Asked yesterday, but I didn't hear you get to it. Sorry if I missed it. What did you ask? Oh, if Steve Jobs were alive, would he partner with or compete against Elon? That's an interesting one. I certainly think he would respect him. I think that, Jobs and Elon, are both struggle on the, capacity to be human side. Although Jobs was pretty good on it publicly, but not good on it privately. But they're both relentlessly committed to what they believe in, right? And so I think at a minimum he would respect Elon. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know. There was someone did a. Was it with Elon? No, it was Joe Rogan and Steve Jobs. Someone did a deep fake with Joe Rogan interviewing Steve Jobs. It'd be fun to do one with Elon Musk and Steve Jobs, and just what would they say to each other? That'd be something that'd be decently easy to put together. That's a really good question. I don't know. I think that they would. Like, Musk isn't going after Apple at all. There's nothing that Apple's doing that threatens what Musk is about. Now, so one of the things Musk wants to do with X, and why he called it X, is he wants to make it the everything app, right? He wants to make it like WhatsApp and your payment system and your communication system and your publishing system and your money making system, and like he wants to make it the everything app. Apple, if they start getting into autonomous agents, they've already got the payment system, they've already got credit cards, they've already got the entertainment piece. They don't really have a social network. But once they start getting good with the AI stuff, I could see X and Apple competing in the same space. But I don't see Musk getting into hardware, right? And that's primarily what Apple's about. So I don't know. It's a fascinating one. Damn it. I scrolled at the wrong time. Heard you go play with Llama and was pumped there was a spot. What? Oh, no. Did it just jump me to the bottom? Oh, TikTok. Why do you do that? TikTok, stop it. You made me sad. You made me very sad. What did I just start watching with the missus? We just started watching, she was watching it for a while. The Idol. It's about all these bratty musicians in LA. It's just very good acting, but like, I couldn't relate. They're just very spoiled. They're also spoiled. Standing around in their skimpy little negligee with their little skinny little bodies. Someone needs a burger. I almost moved to LA. When I was living in New York, we were living north of the city, and I decided I couldn't take Westchester. That area north of the city is just weird. Couldn't take it anymore, and I was going to move back to New York City, come out to Boulder, or go to LA. And so I went to LA, and I went to a bunch of startup meetings, and man, they were just fucking weird. LA is a weird fucking town. Everything's about positioning and angling. I'd share an idea with someone like, oh man, I had an idea just like that, man. We should hang out, man. Everyone wanted to hang out. And what it really was no one had any fucking ideas, and they just wanted to hang out with people they thought had ideas or they thought had power. It's a weird town, man. It's just weird, man. You know, man? You know what I'm saying, man? I don't know. You ever been to LA, man? Man, it's just weird, man. I'm just trying to buy time to figure out where I was in the comments here, so just hang with me. I'll get there. Ian, I think IG is Kyle Shannon. Huh? Oh, what's my Instagram? I have at Kyle Shannon, and I also have at Kyle Shannon Dreams, which is my art project with my Stable Diffusion self-portraits. Okay, I think I'm almost back to my questions here. All right. Oh, there's the Steve Jobs one. I scrolled on the wrong time. Heard you go play with llama and was pumped there was a spot. Oh, this is what I was trying to figure out before. Where's the salon? I'm local and would love to join you for the Adobe speaker. Altitude Tactical. Good name, by the way. I'll go 8.5 out of 10 on the name. We meet at the Catalyst building in Rhino. So it's 3513 Brighton. And we meet from 5 to 7. And we're on the 7th floor boardroom. And all that information's if you go to the meetup. So if you go to the salon.ai, go to the link tree here and sign up. Just become a subscriber to the meetup. We send out the information on the day of the meeting as well. So yeah, come by, say hi. John Mack's not going to be in person. He's going to be virtual because he's off in Adobe land. I will make time to get on the salon.ai. Good name. Thank you. Appreciate that. Which AI to make pictures animated? Bring them to life. Thank you. All right, let's go do that. We'll go make an image and then we'll go bring it to life. We'll do both. You're getting a bonus here. This is bonus. Normally I charge double for this. But tonight, just 1x, not 2x. Just 1x. You only pay the single amount of 0. All right. So we are going to go here. Oh, this was the images that I made for the article that I wrote today for LinkedIn. And it was, the title of the article was ChatGPT gave me superpowers. Is that what it was called? Hang on. Let's have an ADD moment, shall we? I'll get back to the other thing. Calm down, you people. LinkedIn. Yeah, ChatGPT just gave me superpowers. So that was the image I put in my article. Wait, here's the article. Isn't that cool? Cool old image. And so I did that over here in Discord. So if you've never used Midjourney, you do it in Discord. I'm in the AI Salon channel. And there's a Midjourney Play channel. And so that's where I made this thing. Is that one that's good to animate? Actually, that one's not bad to animate. But yeah, let's do that one. I have a feeling it's going to make these things in the sky fly. So let's grab this one. All right. So I'm going to open in browser. I'm going to save as. All right, we'll save as there. Okay, so now I'm going to go to runwayml.com. And by the way, this is goblin.tools, which is I looked at this quickly last night. I played with it a little more today. This is a to-do maker, a to-do list maker, where you give it a single to-do, and then you hit the little magic wand button, and it'll break that to-do down into all of the requisite steps. It sort of is a project manager in a box, goblin.tools. Pretty cool. Okay. We're going to go to Runway ML. I don't know what's going on with the old throat tonight. I might be getting a little tickle in my throat. Might be getting it. So I went to Runway ML, I logged in, and then I went to, what the hell was it? Text to video. But, oh, they added new interface here. This is cool. So you can either use a text prompt or an image prompt. So I'm going to use an image prompt. And I can upload a file. So I'm going to go grab that file that I just saved. Is this it? Yep. Read. All right. So there's our picture. And now we're just going to say generate. And I saw right before I came on live tonight, I think Gen 2, you can now extend a video up to 16 seconds. So you generate 4 seconds, and then you can add another 4 seconds three more times. So you can do videos a total of 16 seconds in length. It's exciting, isn't it? It's so exciting. Oh, the other thing. Oh, Manny. So I'm showing you this. This might not be what you're looking for. You might be looking for how do I turn like a talking head into an actual talking head. I'll show you that as well. But let's see how this thing does with our little picture. We'll see how it does with our little picture, and then I'll go show you how to make an animated dude or dudette. Dudes, dudettes, skinny people, fat people, hairy people, bald people. You can do it all. You can do it all. People with no teeth, people with too many teeth, people with 17 fingers in one hand. All right, here it is. Let's see if it got anything interesting. Are we ready? Are we excited? All right. Yeah. That was pretty cool. All right, I like it. You know what? Let's extend it 4 seconds. 20 credits per generation. I don't know how many credits I have. So now I should have an 8-second video. This is pretty slick. Here we come to save the day. Welcome everybody. If you're new here, my name is Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I just ramble on for hours, night after night after night. I'm insufferable. Welcome. We also talk about AI stuff occasionally. I'll sometimes make fun of people. I'll sometimes be even a little mean, a little saucy. Sometimes I'm nice. Other times I'm saucy. If you don't like the sauce, get out of the sauce kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You understand? Oh, I think we have video. I think we have 8 seconds of video. Let's see if this is any good. It kind of died at the end there. Oh, wait. Sorry, my hand's in the way. It's cool at the beginning, but it kind of died at the end. Okay, anyway, so that's how you do Runway ML, image to video, which, again, if you think about that, imagine if you've got an idea for a film and you go to Midjourney and you do your storyboarding. Well, you can come here and turn those still images into cuts. You could do a rough cut of a movie probably over a weekend. And people are doing that. You can see that stuff on the YouTubes. Okay, now we're going to go somewhere else. The other tool to animate still images that I use, there's a number of these that you can use, is D-ID. There's Synthesia, there's HeyGen, I think is one that, like I said, they're getting their money's worth out of their PR firm these days. I've been hearing more and more about them. Okay, so let me log in here. We'll do it with the Google. Since they have all my data anyway, we might as well just log into everything with them. All right, so if I say create video, what happens here is you can either upload an image or you can pick from one of their avatars. So they've got some avatars here. And then I've got some that I did. Like, here's a dude that I did that's like a Pixar version of me. And then you can either upload audio that you recorded, audio that you synthesized in some other program like 11 Labs, or you can just type in copy. So let's hop over to ChatGPT, and I'll say write me a humorous script in the style of Pixar that's a short paragraph talking about how fun it is living with a chubby dog that barks too much. All right, that's too big. Can you make it shorter? All right, there you go. I'm not even going to read it. We're just going to go with whatever the hell it wrote. That's what we get. That's what we get. You get what you pay for. You ain't paid shit, honey. You got nothing on me. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Where is my... Oh, there it is. Okay. So now, we come over here, pop in that script, and then let's go grab a character. So there's the ladies, and here are the gents. All right, Guy, Davis, Brandon. I guess I could look like a Brandon. Eric, Jacob, Roger, Stefan. Definitely not a Stefan. Tony. We're going to go with Brandon. Oh, Brandon. Okay, so we just typed in the script that ChatGPT gave us. We've got an image that we made in Midjourney and modified in Photoshop with generative fill. I did that blurred background using generative fill. I can show you how to do that too. That's pretty fucking slick. And then we're going to say generate video. I got 34 credits left. I'm spending 3 of my credits. I'm spending 10% of my credits here to show you how to do this. Come on. Tell me that's not something. That's something. It's crazy. I think it's just fucking nuts. All right, it's done. We have a 31-second video.
In a world where barks and belly rubs collide,
Thank you.
Biscuit, the pudgy, perpetually excited pup who treats doorbells like rock concerts and breakfast like a 5-star feast. Living with Biscuit is a symphony of surprises, an unpredictable dance of joy that'll have you laughing till your sides ache. Who needs an alarm clock when you've got Biscuit's booming good morning serenade? Sure, they might be a little extra in the noise department, but every woof and wiggle fills life with more love and laughter than you ever thought possible.
Yeah, that was cringy, but what did it take us? 10 seconds? No, 20 seconds we had to generate the script and then we had to generate the thing. So here's my thought on these things. Okay. My thought on these things is, while they are not ready for prime time now, if you go back a year and look at what image generation looked like a year ago and compare it to what it looks like today, it's not in the same neighborhood. Actually, with images, it was probably closer to a year and a half ago. But like a year and a half ago, like the images were laughably bad. All this stuff is going to get dramatically better, dramatically quick. So, yeah, I mean, and that's just using like off-the-shelf, low-level shit. Some of the uses for this stuff that are super practical is, like I do a lot of work in healthcare. And we're going to be able to take videos of patients speaking English and have them speak any language that our client wants in their voice in a different language, with the right inflections and all that sort of stuff, grammar, all that sort of stuff, in relatively short order. And while it's kind of weird now, it's not going to be weird 2 years from now. So that kind of stuff is coming. Wild, huh? Isn't that crazy? And thank you for whoever dumped the pile of coins down the screen. That was cool. Appreciate that. Yep, the old days. It's crazy times, exciting times. It is. I so agree with that too. What AI rule? Wait, what AI rule will it be in digital currency? Wasim, I don't know quite what you mean. What AI rule will it be in digital? If you can clarify your question, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. I like llamas. I like turtles. I'm going to go show that. Living on the edge.
Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
All right, you're great, zombie. Good times here at the Waterfront Village, open for the next 11 days.
So here are three
Oh, it cracks me up every fucking time. Good night, all. Good night, Denise. Who is this Kyle guy anyway? What are your qualifications, sir? Sir, I am demanding to know your qualifications. What makes you think you can speak upon artificial intelligence with any credibility whatsoever? None. None. Good day to you, sir. Good day. All right. Carrying on. You mentioned AI in retail and how it will be interesting. Can you elaborate how it will affect retail? I think in lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of ways. Certainly on the e-commerce side, I think things like, virtually trying things on in really seamless ways, dynamically generating sites and recommendations for products. So I could just be in some sort of conversation and say, oh, that's kind of an interesting thing, or I kind of like that look, and it just goes and finds the products and identifies all of the different sources where I might get product from, and sort of custom builds me a website from multiple sources. So I think it's going to be amazing on that front. In physical retail, you're starting to see things like fast food chains experimenting with virtual, synthesized people at the drive-up window. Imagine going into a store and having questions about something, and instead of having some clueless, temporary employee who doesn't really want to be there, you've got some virtual employee that can answer any question about any product from any time in history. I think you could start to see interesting interactions that way. I think if you look at if you kind of play Apple's spatial computing, their Vision Pro goggles, if you play that out 5 years and assume that the form factor of that gets smaller and actually wearable out in public and things like that, the augmented reality stuff you could do in retail is going to be insane. That's all predicated on machine learning and AI. I don't know, dynamic pricing, personalization. I think we're just scratching the surface of personalization. I'm working on a project right now doing personalized images and print-on-demand stuff, which is really interesting. So lots and lots and lots. I don't know that world super well, so it will be interesting to see. It's easier to learn a platform than learning Python. And you don't even really need to learn Python now. Just have it write it for you. Now, people that know Python are like, well, it doesn't write it as good as I do. It writes it in a very sloppy way. And that may be true, right? If you want something bulletproof, hire an engineer. If you want to get something done, you can do this. This will get it done. It might not do it as elegantly, but it will. Again, give these machines grace. Your son reads manuals. Gen X doesn't need no stinking manuals. Exactly. I don't know how he got that. Like, fucking Lego manuals. He reads them every page. IKEA manuals. Well, IKEA manuals you have to read. Those things are crazy. But, like, I'm trying to think what it was. It was something... It literally had, like, 2 bolts and a nut. It's like, what are we reading the manual for? I need you to record my outgoing message from my phone. You can make money with ChatGPT! we could do that here. Just everyone... We'll do a coordinated screen recording, and then I'll do, you can make money with ChatGPT. And you can have it for your outgoing... And then I'll do, you can make money with ChatGPT. And you can have it for your outgoing voice call. That's really funny. I paid a guy for a year to create eLearning. I built a better version in a day with ChatGPT. Crazy. That's hilarious. So that's actually a really good point, TM. TMMM, keep rising. I want to know what that means. I think that's a cool name, but I don't know what it means. So everyone bitches about these things. Well, it doesn't write as good as a human. Well, it might not write as good as a good human, but like the amount of marketing professionals that I've hired in my day that have been fucking incompetent is staggering. What's really interesting about that is, so you did it for an e-learning thing. It's going to be everything. It's going to be every SaaS platform. It's going to be every, learning course, right? All of the educational courses that people have done. You're going to be able to just make your own learning course dynamically on the fly, customized for you at the level you're at right now, that is going to be better than any of the shit out there. And then where I go with that is, okay, what are the implications of that? I don't know. Like, who gets scenario, right? Is it all just everything goes to $20 a month ChatGPT like services that end up doing everything? Or are there specialists out there that have specialized data sets where you can make an e-learning on very specialized data, and they're charging you to the data set rather than the mechanism to make the course? But I just feel like the economics and the customer dynamics of, and this goes back to retail as well, like every interaction is going to be redefined by these tools, because we're all kind of assuming that the things that we do today are the things that we'll be doing in the future. What's personalization on a streaming service? Well, they kind of listen to what you like, and you can tell them explicitly what you like, and then they give you recommendations for playlists of music that other people wrote. Okay. Well, why does it have to be music that other people wrote? What if it's a playlist that just plays music written for you in the mood you're in right now for what you've got going on today? And it's all original music. And they'll sprinkle in, 10% of historically recorded songs. Songs from the before time for a little nostalgia. And then everything else is personalized. And they can tell because your glasses, micro movements in your irises, and your earbuds are reading the micro temperature fluctuations in your ear canal. It understands what music you like and what music you don't like before you even hear it. So all of the music you listen to gives you exactly the feeling you were hoping to have. I mean, what's weird about talking about that is we're not that far away from it. It's cuckoo. It's cuckoo. Don't you think? All right. How are you? Oh, how are you doing? I like your conversation. Thanks for your live. Thank you, James. James Kamau. I appreciate that. Cool name, Kamau. You have lovely nostrils. Wow, thank you very much. My earlier lives, I had my camera too low. I've now got everything set up on large boxes and things like that. So my camera was lower, so it was shooting up. So I didn't get any "you have lovely nostrils." Most of what I got was, "you should shave your nose hair." It did get me to shave my nose hair. But thank you for the nostril comment. I don't know that I've ever had a lovely nostril comment. This is how I spend my break from class. Thank you, Thelonious. Why can't I screenshot your lives? Security policy. No, I think that's a local setting. Someone else asked that the other night. I think that's a local setting on your side. I'm not blocking it. Thank you for hearty hearts. I'm not blocking anyone from screenshotting this. I should put a little background back here. Screenshot my lives, $1. a little coin slot where you can drop in NFTs. Oh, good lordy. Lordy. Oh my God. You've switched cams right about the time you said they'll shut me down, and I thought, yep. Oh, I know. What are you going to do? Gesundheit, thank you. Wait, sei gesund. Yeah, I think Gesundheit. Yes? I'm sure. Wait, it's sure been glitchy for me the past several days. Yeah, my internet, the technical term is poo-poo. It's been a poo-poo. My internet been a poo-poo-poo-poo. We can't watch the TV. We can't surf on the internet. The boys can't play their video games. And I can't do my TikToks. You know what I'm saying? You know, do you know what I'm saying? How do you... Hey, anyone know how to turn this thing off? Huh? How do you do this? And scene. All right. Cool. You are on the Kaggle datasets. This live is the best. Awesome. Thank you, Winston. Thank you for the tip on the ChatGPT plugins. You're welcome. Not sure which tip I gave, but cool. If I want to learn how to code using ChatGPT, where should I start? I would start with ChatGPT. Like so I guess I would ask a couple of things. If I would start with, what do you want to accomplish? And then, why do you want to learn to code? Because these tools are going to get more and more sophisticated. So you might not, if you want to learn to code to understand conceptually how coding works and how you think about coding and, frameworks and languages and syntax and all that sort of stuff, just so you can get your head around it, so you can understand what's actually happening. That's one thing. If you want to learn to code to get a coding job, I think coding jobs moving forward are likely going to be coders that are also AI literate, right? They're going to want coders that are increasingly efficient and understand how to use these tools. So I'd say step one would be get really clear on what your goals are. And then, seriously, so if I were you, if you've got the $20 a month, pay for GPT-4 at OpenAI and just start working in ChatGPT-4. If you can't afford that, go to Bing. So Bing is GPT-4, and you can do the same shit there. But the OpenAI one is just it's just less restrictive, and it's better until further notice. And I'll at the point at which one of these things gets better than GPT-4, I'll flop the order. But that's it right now. And then what I would do is I would go there and I would say, sort of, here's a little bit about me. Here's what I'm trying to learn. Here's my goals. What's the best way for me to learn this skill set? And like, what do I need to learn? What are the things that I don't know that I need to learn? And have that thing put together a learning plan for you to do it. And you could even say, I want you to teach me how to code. In fact, let's go do this, because this could be interesting. This is something I haven't done before that I think could be kind of fun. All right, so you're going to go to ChatGPT. You're going to go to just default ChatGPT, and you're going to say, okay, I'm just getting started with coding, and I want to learn how to program Python, but I literally don't know what step to take first, period. Could you tell me the broad categories of things that I should learn so that I can become a good Python programmer, period? It can be fun and rewarding, especially with Python. Basics of Python, introduction, what is it and why use it, installing it and setting up the environment, running a simple hello world program, data types and variables, numbers, integers, floats, booleans, basic operators, blah, 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 intermediate Python functions. Okay, so this is like a programming manual, right? So for me, because I don't like reading fucking manuals, this doesn't work for me. This is driving me fucking crazy. So number 7 is projects and practical application. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to tell it I don't like its approach. I have to say, I don't like your approach, period. This looks too much like a manual, period. Can you teach me Python program with hands-on, use case-driven projects rather than functions? Let's see what it does to that. It should apologize. Certainly, learning through hands-on projects is a great approach. Number 1, calculator. Build a simple calculator. Okay, this is good. Build a simple calculator that can perform addition, subtraction, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I like this. I like this approach. It's telling me what skills I'm going to learn on these projects. I can get my head around it. This feels more like when you get an Arduino, the books that come with Arduinos are like little projects. Make the blinky lights, make the this, make the, TV interrupter thingy. So I like this. All right, this is a good approach. This is making me happy. All right, so now I'm going to say, oops, sorry. Happy coding. Okay. Let's start with number 1, period. I want to get right into the programming, but I want you to teach me step by step, period. I don't want you to move on to the next step until I've said, okay, I understand the previous one. Do you understand? Absolutely, I understand your approach. Let's jump in. Simple calculator. Step 1, setting up. Set up Python. If you haven't already, install Python. You can download it from the official website here. 2, your first Python script. Okay. So this is not listening to what I said. So I'm going to stop generating. I'm going to say, I don't want you to give me all the steps at once. I want you to give them to me one by one, period. Do not move on to step 2 until I've completed step 1, period. I apologize for the oversight. Step 1, setting up Python. Check and see if it's installed. Open your terminal or command prompt. Type Python version or Python 3. So I'm going to say, I'm on a Mac running OS X, period. Can you customize these instructions for my specific setup? Of course. Ensure Python's installed on your Mac. Open your terminal. So anyway, that's how I would do it, right? Just think of these tools as the most capable, smartest intern you've ever had. And if you're like, I'm too young to have an intern, well, you have one now. They will do anything you ask them to do. It's what they're programmed to do. They want to give you what you need. It's what they're all about. So I would just do some version of what I just did there. But before you just jump in and start learning shit, I would get clear on what you want to learn and why you want to learn it, because learning to code might not be the best option, but it might be. So get clear on that first, and then you could even use ChatGPT as kind of a career coach to say, what should I be doing? Given that all of this shit's going to be automated, does it make sense for me to learn coding right now? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And it would probably have some pretty good insight on that. All right. Wow, the spreadsheet example shared. The code interpreter thing? Yeah, it's crazy. All right, this is the future. You say you don't know about data analysis, but you're teaching others AI EDA. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm fairly deep into the AI EDA, if you know what I mean. If I knew what AI EDA was, I would tell you. I mean, I definitely know, but I don't. You know what it is? I don't want to just give away the answers. I want you to understand them on your own. That's how I roll. Welcome, everybody. It looks like we got some new folks here. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. We have fun here. We have fun. We just hang out. We talk. We have talks. We go back and forth. We have witty banter. We talk about all these here tools. That's ChatGPT. Have you used ChatGPT? I don't know if you knew this, but you can make money with ChatGPT. Right there is ChatGPT, and then you got Claude. This is a bunch of pesky ne'er-do-wells that used to work here, and they left and said, I don't like how you do shit. We're going to go do our own. And so they did. And they're pretty fucking good. And then you got Bing. Bing was little old Microsoft. Remember Microsoft? Remember Bing? How cute it was that they were trying to compete with Google for years? And then all of a sudden, they teamed up with old Sam Altman up here and kicked Google's ass. And Google's like, wait, we're losing to these guys? Then you got Bard, that's Google. Google's starting to get their shit together after 9 months. 9 months of like, oh, fuck. They released the Kraken. What do we do? Guess we better use that technology we invented, huh? Yee. And then old Mark Zuckerberg was like, we're not going to compete on this shit. Why don't we just give it away? Here you go. So that's that one. That's Llama. And then you got Inflection and you got Quora doing their thing with question and answers at Poe. It's just a wild time. It's wild. It's a wildfire of innovation. Why do I have a generically Southern accent? Why do I talk like this? No one knows. No one knows. All right, moving on. Is this 3.5 or 4? I can't hear you. This is the exploratory data analysis of the future. It is. It's insane. That's Code Interpreter. That was Code Interpreter's GPT-4. 4. 3.5 is free and it's super fast, but it doesn't have any of the fancy shit. 4 is the really good one. It can code really well. It can write really well. It can write really well. It can write really well, and it can do Code Interpreter, and you can do plugins. And plugins are interesting. And I think both of them can do custom instructions, but maybe not. I don't know. That might just be GPT-4. Are you a paid actor? Well, I'm an actor, and I've been paid. Have I been paid for my acting? I have. Not in a while. Not in a good long while. Although I act like the CEO and I get paid for that. That counts, doesn't it? Which is the best for generating animation? I showed that earlier, so I don't know. I'm not digging deep into the animation world. I think if you're talking about video, like image to video, then Runway ML, but there's a bunch of them out there, and if you're talking about like the synthesized voice to animation thing, I think DID, but it's expensive, and so is Synthesia, and so is there's another one out there. Oh, HeyGen, HEYGEN. I don't know how much that one is though, but I would imagine it's expensive. What I'm waiting for is sort of the equivalent of Stable Diffusion, and I know Stable Diffusion does some animation, but it would be nice if someone came out with something like Runway ML or whatever that wasn't so expensive. But the reason they're expensive is likely that it's burning massive amounts of GPU cycles, and it's probably expensive for them to run it. So until that shit gets optimized and efficientized and cheap, then it ain't going to be cheap. We use all these GPU cycles and pass the costs on to you. It's the American way. Welcome to capitalism. Shouldn't the government be giving us access to this? Oh, that's cute. That's you're a card. The government. Oh, good Lord. He said the government and competence in the same sentence. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, good Lord. All right. Quit trying to make Watson happen, IBM. I know, it's so true. It's so true. Like, why resurrect that brand? Why not just call it like IBM X or IBM does AI or I'm an AIer at IBM or anything other than Watson X? Watson X is like trying to say, I'm geriatric hip. But whatever. They try. Oh my God, the early days of the web, the web group at IBM, they started a consulting service and a web group, and oh my God, they were so bad for so long. They got their shit together eventually, but whoo, the early days. That was special. I suggest paying for GPT-4. I think it's great. I do too. I think it's worth it. GPT is worth the $20 in my opinion. What's that little Raven Sart Nest. Little Raven Sart Nest. I like the name. I don't know what it means. Yeah. So I'm not affiliated with these guys in any way. So when I tell you, I think it's worth you paying for ChatGPT. Like, why it's on my lives for the entire time is because these are the ones that I think are worth paying attention to right now. I'll remove. I'm close to removing Poe, and but the fact that it does bots and the fact that you can play with multiple models on it makes it kind of worth having there. And Pi is specialized enough right now that it's almost not worth putting on there, but they just raised $1.3 billion, so I have a feeling they're going to be a major player. So I think all these are worth playing with right now. But I do agree that, and I pay for OpenAI ChatGPT 4. It feels worth it to me. Is there an AI that does video editing? There's Descript is one. So the problem with all the AI video tools right now is they're all kind of like Descript, where you have, it's like a page of discrete tools that all do like specialized things. They're starting to roll some of those features into Premiere and things like that, but not that I know. But what I would tell you is go to futurepedia.io. Once we start getting into specialized tools like AI-assisted video editing tools, there are probably a lot out there that I don't know about. But if you go to futurepedia.io, that's just a big old directory of AI tools. They have a video section. Just go start clicking on logos. I would sort by popularity for sure, because I would be willing to wager that there are 50 video tools or more, and 90% of them are going to be steaming piles of poo. And you might not even find out how big a steaming pile of poo they are until you pay your, sign up for our free 7-day trial. And then you sign up and you're like, oh, fuck, this is a piece of shit. God, you rig 'em, frig 'em, rock 'em, suck 'em. And then you forget to cancel your subscription. And 3 months later, you have to sell the children. It's just not good. So just be careful there. Be careful out there, people. There are people asking for $20 a month everywhere you look. By the way, you can subscribe to AI Learning Lab for $20 a month. Welcome. No, you can't. It's a joke. It's comedy. It's comedy. Comedy. All right. Moving on. Something is happening with my voice, and I don't know what it is. It's not good. It's bad. Maybe I should start a cartoon. If I were clever, I would actually if I were clever and didn't have ADD, I could write down all the voices I do and then match them to little AI heads I stick on myself and just quickly switch between them. So when I have a harebrained voice I want to do, I pop on the character. It'd be like a whole little show. My own little version of The Simpsons without the comedy or the good voice acting. All right. Moving on. Twerking in that cowboy hat would have dire consequences, I agree. I think I would get banned for life. It's like twerking on Elder Talk. Wonk, wonk, wonk. Top Gear's a hoot. Yeah, it is. It's good. You have exactly right on the history and what is going on in designing of GPUs. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, how did the industry let them fucking corner the market? It's just mind-blowing to me. Was it a conscious choice that Intel went, well, it's all about CPUs, GPUs. GPUs are the garbage of the CPU business. Am I right, Bob? Until GPUs are the thing we need. How do you fuck that up? We're not in the GPU business. That's the trailer trash. Hey, what's our tea time? Let's go. I'm sorry. Their market cap is what? $1 trillion. Just, when's the board meeting? Huh? I can't breathe. That was my Intel executive finding out about NVIDIA's $1 trillion market cap in June, right before the golf game. Oh, TikTok just jumped me to the bottom. Oh, and gift fundraising. Can we talk automations? Yes, I will do an automation for you. I promised I would do that. Oh my God, the turtle guy made a new video. Let's see. By the way, my name is normally Steve042. I remember you. I'll change it back in 5 days and counting. Have you seen any accounting, bookkeeping, AI products? I have not seen anything on bookkeeping. I would assume that Quicken, everyone is going to have AI layers sitting on top of their shit. You know what's going to be amazing? When the tax preparation folks put an AI layer on top and the AI has just read all the documentation and it just looks at your shit and goes, let me prepare that for you. Plimp! Move this slider. What's your risk tolerance for deductions? So for bookkeeping, I'd go to futurepedia.io and see if there's anything in financial services. What do you do for work? I'm a founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine. All right, I'm gonna jump down to the automation one. I lost my place in the Emilio's wife. As a consumer, I'd prefer to talk to AI with a generated video rather than just a text chat. Yeah, and I think we'll get there soon. Again, I have a sneaking suspicion Apple's going to come out with that sooner than later. If you watch the Vision Pro announcement, pay attention to the section where they talk about being on a Zoom call. It's wild. So when you first get the goggles, you flip them around backwards and you face them at yourself, and it scans your head, and you scan it at all angles, and so it makes a model of your head. And then you put on these giant stupid ass goggles that have screens on the outside so people can see your eyes. It takes the cameras and projects them onto the screen on the outside of these things. They're fucking wild. Apple's just insane. And then because they've got your synthesized face, and because they've got cameras pointing down at your mouth, and they've got cameras pointing at your eyes, when you get on a Zoom call, you see like giant screens of the other people in your living room, and then they see you. They see your whole face talking, and your eyes moving, and your eyebrows moving. It's all synthesized. And they're sort of in real time composing all of these different camera views and reconstructing your face with your voice, with your lips synced and everything. So they've built that shit. So that's the complicated solution. So now they just need to take a scan of your face with their little LiDAR cameras that are all over these phones now. And I think we'll be able to chat with personas of people probably soon. I think Apple's going to be big in that game. I think they're going to do it well. All right. You wanted to look at automations. Let's go do an automation. Now, let me get my head around what we want to do. Because I've done this before, but on a live, this could be boring as fuck. So, all right. So I want this not to be boring. Okay. How are we going to do this? Hold. All right. Let me get a couple of tools set up here. All right. Who's hitting hearts? This is not good enough singing for hearts. This deserves no hearts. He deserves no hearts for that kind of singing. That trash. Incompetent, off-key, off-timbre. Good Lord. You people are simpletons. He's not entertaining. There's nothing entertaining about this. He says the TikTok. Who says that? He does. Okay. I'll flip the screen over in a second. Let me find my piece parts first. That was the challenge engine. Wait, where is it? Challenge engine, no ChatGPT. Lesson plan maker. Where's my example? I lost my example. Is this it? I think this is it. Yes, okay. Now visualize your zaps. Zoom out in your zap. Okay, whatever. Stop giving me new features. I know how to use it now. Don't give me new shit. Oh no, what have they done? Oh, visual editor. Classic editor. Okay, we're going to go to the classic editor just because I don't know how to use the visual editor. Okay. Okay. So when you come to Zapier, okay, so wait, let me start at the beginning. let me go. I'm just trying to figure out where to start. Where it's going to make sense and it's going to be somewhat remotely interesting. So bear with me as I try to get my head around what I want to do. Okay, I'll start here. So the way you can think about automation tools like Zapier, and Make is another one that's like this, that's got a slightly different interface, but it's the same basic idea, is all of them function effectively the same. You've got what they call a trigger, so that's something that starts the automation. And then you've got some series of actions. And what I have on screen right here is kind of the most simple automation you can do, where you've got an input, some sort of processing, and then an output. So the input I have is a Google form. The processing I have is send a prompt with the data from that Google form to ChatGPT, to GPT-3 in this case, and then take the result of that and pop it in an email and send that email. So the inputs here could be you add a new row to a Google form, you upload a file into a directory on Google Drive, you create a new Google Doc. There's all sorts of things that can trigger this. It can be someone posts something in a Slack channel, right? So the trigger is something happens somewhere that's connected into your thing. And then that starts this cascade. And so how you add another step is there's this little plus button here, and then you add it. And so let me go through this. So what I did was I created a really simple Google form, the most simple Google form, that basically just said, what's your favorite color? And then your answer and submit. So that was the form that I created. Then over in Zapier, when you create one of these zaps, you kind of build them. Think of these as Lego blocks. You build it a Lego block at a time, and you kind of start from the input and work your way down. So I said, I want to create a Google form. So if I change this, so you come into this little thing which says, now it says change a trigger, but if I was creating this from scratch, it would say create a new trigger, and then I would say Google form. Right, there's Google Forms right there. And then I select, well, what do you want to do on this Google form? Well, I want a new form response. So depending on the module you choose, you've got different options that API allows, right? So I can either say, anytime someone puts something new in the form, or if they put something new or update their form, I'm going to take this action. And then I hook my account up, and then I say, what form do I want? So based on my account, I got lots of forms I can choose from. So I chose the one that said favorite color. So that's the one with our single color there. And then I test it, and I have a form response from when I created the form. I did a little test, and I put in the color green. And you'll notice over here when I tested it, it pulled in the color green. So it pulled in a bunch of other shit about the form, but I'm just interested in, can it see the answer that I typed into that form? It can. So now what happens is, now that I've got a trigger and I've got some data input from that trigger, now I can use that in anything that follows it. And that's one of the cool things about the automations is the more modules you add, you can use elements from anything above it. Okay. All right. So now we're going to say continue with that record. So now it's moved us down to our OpenAI prompt, or our OpenAI module, right? And so an important thing to know is there's an OpenAI module and there's a ChatGPT module. I'm a little cranky about the ChatGPT one because the fields are not the same as they are over in OpenAI's playground, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so what's happening here is it's a very similar thing to what we just did. So we're doing an OpenAI module. We've got a list of things we can do here. So we can check moderation to see if someone cusses at us. We can create a transcription. We can create a translation. We can generate an image with DALL-E. We can send a prompt. So that's the one I selected. So we're going to send a prompt. Then I hook up my account. Then now this is where I do my prompt. So here's the model that I'm using. I'm using Text DaVinci 3. And here's my prompt. I want you to use the following variables. Color. And so let me get rid of this. So over in the GPT playground, I sort of figured out the prompt I wanted to do. And this one's just a stupid example prompt. But I want you to use the following variables. Color. So because I've got that form above that I've now got access to, I can now take any of the input fields from that form and put them into my prompt. So I'm going to find the one that says green, which is the bottom one here. It says, what's your favorite color? I click green. And so that's now in my prompt. So this is a variable within my prompt. So what that means is anytime someone fills out a form, it's going to take that color and it's going to stick it in my prompt and it's going to send that to OpenAI. Okay. And then like, here's the temperature, here's the maximum length. So this is all stuff that you play with at Playground. The temperature, if I move it to 0, it'll be more dry. If I move it to 2, it'll be more creative. 1 is somewhere in the middle. I ignore a lot of the other shit just because I'm generally just doing fairly straightforward things. And then I test that. And so basically what the prompt was, write a poem about a blank colored animal, right? And so it gave me back, this is the test response, a silly frog of green croaks and hops. And, so it's a green frog poem. So that worked. And now I say continue. And my next module was Gmail. So I pick Gmail. I hook my account up. I say we're gonna send an email. So you fill in all the fields of send the email, and then I'm gonna say, here's your poem about a, and so I pulled the green variable from the form, right? So here's your poem about a green animal. That's the subject. And then the body of the email is, hello there, you asked for a poem about a green animal, a blank animal. Here it is. And then this other variable is the response from OpenAI. So within this email, it's using both inputs from the form and from OpenAI. And then when I go test that, retest action, did it do it? It should send me an email. So I'll go over to Gmail. And so here we go. From me, here's your poem. Here's your poem about a green animal. Hello there, you asked for a poem about a green animal, and I don't have a space there, so I see there's a typo in my form, so I could go fix that. And then there's my poem, right? And so now, anytime anyone goes to that form and fills in a color, within 20 seconds, they'll get an email with a poem about something colored animal. So that's automation. That help? Was that boring? We lost 20 people. we lost 20 people doing the automation. We lost them. They're like, I can't take it. He's just talking about forms and variables. This is like program. I didn't want homework. I came here for entertainment. Now he's talking about Zapier and zaps and variables. I can't take it, Sally. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. AI Learning Lab my ass. Never again. I'll be back tomorrow. Or I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye. All right. I stay up to see you, heart, but gotta go to bed. Good night, Dawn. Thank you. Hey guys, by the way, my name is normally Steve-O. Yep, we saw that one earlier. You must read some manuals. That's how the Challenger exploded. No, the Challenger exploded. Well, they didn't read the manual, but didn't the dude come in and bang the thing on the table and said, "This is a problem"? And they're like, "Pshaw, get out, peon, with your engineering skills." Yeah, I know. I'm just not going to do it. I ain't never read a manual. I ain't never going to read a manual. I ain't gonna do it. And now, what? Who said I needed to do that? Lynette, ha! These things will read the manual for me. Do you know? You can take full-on documentation and pop them in these things and just have it give you instructions on how to do shit. You don't ever have to read a manual again. We got machines for that now. I got people for that. I don't read no stinking manual. Never. I will never do it. Never. All right. Best hour of my day just spent here on this chat. Thank you, TM. Thank you. Peace. Love it. Oh my God, the turtle. Guy made a new video. I know. I got messaged by someone impersonating you. Be careful. There are fraudsters lurking. Really? That's terrifying. Lil Miss Camper, if you would DM me and tell me specifically what happened there. I'm curious. Well, first of all, yeah. All right. I got nothing going on here commerce-wise, but I suppose someone could say, "Buy my class. Buy my class on. You can make money with ChatGPT." Oh my God. I didn't think. Oh, that's annoying. All right. Well, we'll have to deal with that. If I find them, I'll tell them to knock it the fuck off. Sorry about that. That sucks. Kyle, can you do automation? So I hope that helped, Dan. I hope that was that gave you what you needed to learn there. It's kind of a deep river to run in. But once you get your head around, like the basic idea with automations, like the biggest thing to get is you got inputs, you process the inputs, and then you output them somewhere. Like once you get your head around that, then it's all just variations on the theme. But some of those modules are really janky and complicated and just overly whatever. This is crazy. I am now adding monetization to my platform using Stripe. Oh, that's great. That's great. With ChatGPT. ChatGPT is writing it all. Yeah, it's isn't it nuts? It's nuts. So this is it. So what TM's doing is really good. One of the toughest things to sort of flip your head around, the thing that took me a while is I would just kind of sit and stare at these things like they were going to do something. I'm like, all right, what do I do with it? I guess I could make another poem. What do is there a class? Because they can do anything, they can get very overwhelming. And the best way to get your head around what they can do is don't think about what can I do with AI. Flip it around and say, what's something in my life that I'm trying to do that it would be interesting to see if I could do with these things. And then you have an imperative. You're like, okay, all right, so I want to write a Mad Lib style thing for first-time founders. Okay, that I can. Let me go here and see if I can do that. And then you'll start doing it. And then at some point, it will give you some sort of output where you'll go, oh, God, I didn't know it could do that. And you have your Kevin McAllister moment, and then your life will never be the same. And then you just show up on these fucking TikToks night after night going, why am I here? What have I done with my life? Oh my God, more ChatGPT. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I used to like pudding, but now it's ChatGPT. I could have pudding and ChatGPT. Oh, no, this is so good. And then 3 hours later, you're like, where's that pudding? Do you own a cat? I am not a cat person. I'm a dog person. I don't like the kitty cats. Sorry. I don't. Kitty cats are fickle. I like unbridled love. Doggies are like, you walk in and like, oh my God, you're here? This is the best thing ever. I don't like the please pet me, fuck you. That doesn't do it for me. Cats make me crazy. Like, you want the love? You get the love. You want the love and then you scratch the shit out of me? Homie, don't play that. All right, I know coders using ChatGPT to help them with bug fixes, and I use it for quick templates. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's cool. Yeah, you can... Oh, one of the things these things are really good at, if you haven't done it, it's really good at mimicking stuff. So you can give it, like for Storyvine, we write these things called video guides, which are a series of prompts that show up in our app that walk someone step by step through telling their story. They're written in a very particular way that, you know, because of the nature of how the app works, and we've sort of figured out over the years what works and what doesn't, and you start with an introduction, and then it's got a story arc, and just all sorts of shit in it. And so I was trying for a long time to get it to do our prompts correctly, and I was just, you know, writing these increasingly complicated prompts, and then it hit me, oh shit, why don't I just give it an example? And then I said, I explained, you know, I have a video company and we write these story frameworks called video guides, and here's what they look like. And so now write me a story that's got 5 questions in it, you know, that follows that format, that tells this story. And then out it comes, and it was fucking perfect. Like, bang, from day one. So if you've got something, you have a particular kind of writing style, or you've got something that's formatted in a particular way, or you've got, in your case, a code template, pop that template in there and tell it to solve a problem within that template, or follow the tone of the email. It's fucking brilliant for that. Do you believe humans will use AI also in weapons in the future? Someone was asking about Palantir earlier, so yes, we already are. One of the dangers, in my opinion. Totally agree. Boston Dynamics has come out publicly and said, you know, we probably shouldn't put weapons on our robo-dogs. Thanks, Boston Dynamics. I'm sure that's what they tell the public, and then with their defense contractors, they're like, wait, is there any way we can stick on 6 more guns pointed in all directions? So, you know, they're doing that shit. But, you know, long as it's with the military. Yes, I do think that AI will be used in weapons, and, you know, bad guys will get their hands on AI, and good guys will get their hands on AI, and yeah. And will there be big news stories where something went awry? Absolutely. We are predisposed right now to be afraid of these things for a couple of reasons. One is any new technology, especially ones that are going to be disruptive, scare the shit out of people. And it's happened throughout history. Happened with the tractor. It happened with the camera, with the daguerreotype. It happened with the printing press. It happened with the World Wide Web. And so humans are, you know, resistant to change. They don't like change. They're afraid of new technology. We've also got 50 years of history of Hollywood telling us the robots are going to kill us. So we've seen all the movies. So the minute that we have a story that's like, oh, that's like that scene in Terminator. Here we are. You know, it'll make the cover of the New York Times, and it'll be on all the news channels for 3 days. And it'll probably knock this shit back 6 months. So yeah, that's going to happen. And is it going to suck? Yeah, it's going to suck, but, you know. They ain't going to be uninvented. They ain't going away. Sorry about the hair. I don't know what just happened there. It was normal, and now it's not. That's the way she rolls. It's just my lot in life. All right. It will be used a lot by experienced coders. It will be used a lot. What I've heard, Winston, from the All In podcast, Jason Kalkanis and those guys, is that what they were saying is that tech shops in San Francisco that are using GitHub Copilot as a normal course of business, they're seeing 30 to 40% increases across the board in those companies. That's fucking significant. And this is like the new raw not really working version of this technology. Like imagine 2 years out when you can just kind of imagine a sophisticated, subroutine, and it just writes it for you and integrates it and updates all your API calls. Imagine never having to update a library ever again because the AI is just sitting there waiting for library changes. It just scans your codes, looks at all your libraries and dependencies, goes out, finds any updates, finds replacements for things that when things have been deprecated, automatically updates your code. What's going to happen to all of the ops people that's all they do with their time? I don't know. They can go write the bots that go do that shit. And then they can sit back and smoke a big fat cigar going, yeah, my machines are coding themselves. Bring me another cocoa. AI will take software engineering jobs, accountants, lawyers too. So Jorge Ramirez, yes, AI is gonna. So all jobs that are intermediated with computers. So every knowledge work job, every creative job, anything, logistics, manufacturing, anything with computer mediation, the jobs, every single job is going to be redefined by these tools. Every single job. Now, does that mean every single person gets replaced? No. What it means, so there's a guy I talk about a lot on here named Paul Raitzer. He's got the Marketing AI Institute, and he said, AI will not replace your job, but someone using AI will. And so one of the things that this channel's about is just encouraging people, like why I have these things up on screen for the entire fucking thing is if you're not playing with these things, go play with them. Go right now to ChatGPT if you haven't done it yet and start playing. Start getting AI literate, because when those disruptions start to happen in every business, the powers that be at some point are going to go, oh shit, we got to get our shit together with AI. Who knows anything about AI? Jorge was talking about ChatGPT in the lunchroom the other day. Bring Jorge to my office. Jorge, the fuck's going on with this AI stuff? Oh, I don't know. It's, Would you like me to write you a poem about quantum mechanics? Here you go. So get literate. Get literate. Start figuring out what these things do, what they can't do, what they're good at, what they're bad at. Even if you don't have a goal in mind, it's going to serve you well. So yeah. Now, here's the good news. So here's what this is just my gut, right? This is all speculation. Right now, we're just starting to see impact on the workforce. We're starting to hear, oh, so-and-so laid off 4,000 people and they're replacing them with AI, and this company's not going to hire any more people because of AI, and we got the SAG strike and the writer's strike. Right now, this stuff is kind of at the periphery of the conversation. It's sneaking in a little bit, but it's at the periphery of the conversation. Over the next 2 to 3 years, big swaths of jobs are going to be impacted, and they're just going to get bowled over. And I don't think we're frankly prepared for it. So I think there's going to be a lot of pain and a lot of disruption. What we don't know is on the other side of that pain and disruption, all of these technologies, as they get more sophisticated, are going to generate lots of prosperity, and they're going to generate lots of new jobs and lots of new job demand that the workforce won't be trained for, because it's going to be entirely new things. So who's going to be first to fill those jobs? People that at least understand something about AI, right? And so as it does this and the workforce kind of diminishes and does this, it's the people that sort of, hop out of whatever they were doing before, start learning this AI stuff, and they're going to be able to ride that wave up. So I think 5 years out, we start to see all sorts of new opportunities and jobs and But the 2 to 3 year period, sort of probably starting 2024, I think is going to be painful. I've used AI to help program an idea I have, but it doesn't do certain languages that I guess I need. It's possible. I would just keep asking it questions, because with programming, there's always many ways to solve the problem. So I would keep on trucking. I would tell it that you're frustrated, and if it says it doesn't do certain languages, say, well, what languages do you do? Like, I would just keep pushing on the edges of it. Just keep having it educate you about what you need to. So here's an example. When I first started using ChatGPT, I thought, I'm going to have it write me some Python code. I don't know Python. And so it wrote Python code. I was like, cool. And then I realized I don't know how to run Python code. So I told it, I don't know how to run Python code. And it said, oh, sure, you just go to your terminal and you type in this command line. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want to type in command lines. That feels like work to me. I said, isn't there a website that I can use that'll just do this for me? And it gave me 5 websites, and I picked one. And then it taught me how to use the website to run Python code. So there may be ways for you to get around that. The other thing to do is talk to people in your life that you're doing this, that you're playing with AI. Even if they think you're weirdos, someone in there might be playing with this stuff also, and maybe they've got coding skills and could support you on that. So I would sort of get generous about talking about how you're exploring it. And by the way, 9.5 out of 10 on the name. Verified Mom is a solid name. Very solid. Like it. My internet is bad today. Fucking Xfinity. Chris, you too? Oh, Xfinity. It's so bad. You got another account? I did not. I just came back. They only booted me for 7 days. Can we talk automations? We just did. Prompt engineering. Oh, by the way, there's 90 folks here. I am more than 99 messages behind. Because I'm an idiot, I like to read every comment from every person, but it means I've been doing this now for like 2 hours, 2.5, something like that. I don't know, way too long. What time is it? Oh, I gotta go to bed. It's fucking 11. I'm behind. Oh, I gotta go. I've got a workshop I gotta give tomorrow, and I am behind. I haven't done my homework for my little workshop. Yeah! It's an ADD thing. As long as it's an emergency, I can get it done. Anyway, I'm really behind on the comments. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna jump down to the bottom because I need to go soon. So I'm just gonna skip a bunch of questions. So if I missed your question, sorry about that. So I've now jumped down to the bottom, and I'm gonna just go back a few and just grab a couple more questions. Kyle's hair is tired now. So's Kyle. I'm a software engineer. Use it every day to help write code. That's cool, Sam. The name is a letter or so off. That's what you were saying. AI Learning Lab 2 L's. Huh? Did I misspell something somewhere? Maybe. Got to pivot to architecture or cybersecurity. Architecture is going to get really cool in the next couple of years. What's going to happen when planned obsolescence is thwarted by self-updating programs? I think everything's going to get fucked up. I think it's going to be really fascinating to watch the power infrastructure, not electric power, but the powerful corporations. As these tools start fucking with the power centers, the death throes of those power centers are going to be fascinating. They're going to try to shut this shit down, and they're going to try to box it in. And I think Meta releasing the Llama 2 models commercially is a really interesting hedge against that kind of control. It's going to be fascinating. Like, I have no idea what it's going to look like, but Chaos Generation, by the way, 10 out of 10 on the name. Chaos Generation is a really good name. Yeah, I just keep paying attention. Just like here's the deal. If you look at this shit from the outside, it looks a certain way, and it's like, oh, it's overhyped and it's geeks and it's this and that. When you get on the inside of this stuff and actually start playing with it and see what it makes possible and start to just imagine even 2 years in the future, if this thing I'm doing right now got just a little bit better, who would that threaten? Start paying attention to that shit. And if you start seeing the who would that threaten people starting to make noise, you're starting to see the death throes of a change in power. Air traffic controllers, let's replace them with AI. My biggie right now is customer support call centers. They need to go. They need to go and be replaced with competent AI and phone answerers that talk to me and can actually solve my fucking problem without putting me on hold for 45 minutes and then hanging up on me after my fourth person I'm talking to, where I've had to re-explain my problem to each person every single time. That shit needs to go. So you take your air traffic controllers, I'll take the customer support people. Let's get these things moving on. What's it going to do to digital marketing? Completely, totally fucking obliterate it and upend the entire agency structure. Time and materials is a relic of the past, but no one knows it yet. The whole ad industry is, but what if I like turtles? Whole ad industries. What's cool is, as the ad industry starts to make things more efficient and let go of people as they find efficiencies, they're still going to struggle to hold on to their time and materials model. And what's going to happen is the 10% of the people that they cut due to efficiencies, or 20%, the smart ones of those are already learning this shit, if they haven't already learned it. And they're going to go start 10-person agencies that can come kick the shit out of 200-person agencies. The holding companies are in trouble. And they're being fucking arrogant about it right now. I'm talking to the clients. Like, we've got big-ass clients. Storyvine's a small company, but we have big-ass clients. And we have some pretty trusted relationships right now. And they're telling us what they think of their holding companies, and it ain't pretty. They're in trouble. They don't know it yet because they're, full of themselves, because they're big, powerful people that have been big and powerful for a lot of decades. But they got some shit coming. We're incorporating ChatGPT into our 6-figure blueprint digital business. That's super cool. I like that. I guess I'll be styling hair forever. If you're dealing with me, we got some issues to deal with. I hope you go work for Trump. Huh? Okay. I don't even know what that means. Yep, I'm the weirdo in my circles. Us weirdos got to stick together. That's what this channel's all about. This is a weirdo collection bowl. Oh my God! Somebody is impersonator you by a similarly named account, Kyle. I'll message you. Oh, okay, got it. All right, we'll get them. We'll get them. Whatever you call it. We'll get them TikToked out. What? Why? Oh, are they like stealing my content and doing I don't wait. All right, I'll have to go check it out. There's somebody impersonating you and scamming people. It's AI Learning Lab with 2 L's. Oh, aiL Learning Lab. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, I'll go check it out. And how are they scamming people? That's exhausting. God, okay, can we stop it with the fucking scamming? Like, really? Isn't it just as easy to start a fucking business as it is to, like, scam people and just try to fucking sleep at night? I've never understood that. Can you try the Visla plugin? The link is in response where the video outcome is. I tried it the other night, Dedney, and it didn't work. It was broken, so I'll try it at some point. I got to go to bed now, but I actually got to go do some work now. I think they were telling you about the impersonator with a misspelled screen name. I will find them. Richard Feynman came in and dropped an O-ring into ice water and showed it became brittle. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That was the Challenger thing. Yeah, they said this is bad. All right, this stream makes me anxious. Why? All right. Oh my God, I'm so ready for AI to replace customer call centers. I know, right? Exactly. All right, people, I gotta go. It's time. Good night, Kyle. Do you have homework to do? I do. I have homework to do. All right. Peace, everybody. Like, honestly, AI makes it easier to scam than start a business. That's a big fear. Yeah, I know. We'll get after him. Thanks, Hair Growth Geek. Appreciate it. Peace out, everybody. Peace out. The Bear, Dr. J, Chaos Generation, Rebel, Alex. Peace out, everyone. Thank you. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace.